Hi there, we're in my garage and I'm going to go over the different items that I sent to you or I put together in your printmaking kit. So one of the first items that you would have found is a collection of paper. So there are different weights and types of papers. And you would have also received some gloves and some pieces of acrylic sheeting. Some of them have my silly writing on them. Just trying to help you figure out that one's for rolling your ink and then one's for squishing your ink onto. Also some masking tape. It was either rolled up in a small little love package for you. Then also a drawer pull of one size or the other, and also a palette knife, aka putty knife. You also received a plate of some size, and mine is carved into. You also got a brayer. Some, like this one, are a little bit sticky, but they'll still work. And some rags. And I think that is pretty much it that you got. I did, for some of you, remember to give you some bigger sheets of paper that were about, 18 inches by 12 inches. And what I want you to do is to make a registration template for yourself. So on that 12-inch by 18-inch paper, you can use a ruler and you measure the midpoint of the short dimension of the paper, and that midpoint is 6 inches. You make a little tick mark, do the same on the opposing end, a little tick mark, and then you make a vertical line for yourself. And then over on the longest dimension of your piece of paper, the midpoint for this being 9, I made a tick mark on the other side at 9, and created a horizontal line. So now I've kind of got a crosshairs, and that allows me to draw evenly the dimensions of my 6 by 6 inch plate. So 3 inches centered on the midline. I made 2 tick marks, made a vertical set of lines, and then did the same thing over here for these top lines. So that's 6 by 6. And then up here, I knew that my piece of paper, the ones that I tore for you, are 9 inches wide by 12 inches long. So with that crosshair, you put the midpoint, which is 4.5, and you make 2 tick marks, one at the 0, one at 9. Again, centering on 4.5 on that vertical line, going to the 0 and then the 9. Then this direction, I've got the midpoint at 6, made a little tick mark here, which is 0 and 12, and repeated that little centering at 6, tick mark at 0 and 12, and then zoom, I made my beautiful outer rectangle. All right, so that is essentially what you need to do for yourself on some piece of paper. And if you have a scrap piece of plastic floating around, like I happen to have, you can then lay it on top of your piece of paper that has that beautiful pair of rectangles drawn on it. And then you can center your piece of plastic on top of that paper drawing, and then use a piece of that masking tape, or even if you've got, what do they call it, cellophane tape at home, transparent tape, you can use that same thing. So it just gives you a nice surface on which you are going to place your inked plate, and then you're going to grab one of your sheets of paper later on, whichever one, and then you're going to use your little outer rectangle to line up your piece of proofing paper. All right, so this is something you want to do early on while you have clean hands, obviously. And again, it's in reference to the 9 by 12 inch sheets of paper that I that I sent you. And then your center rectangle reflects the dimension of whatever size plate that you received. All right, so there we are with all of the components related to the printing and to the registration.